Cyber Threat Brief for March 30th, 2026. Fortinet 40 Client EMS is under active attack through CVE 2026-21643, a critical SQL injection flaw affecting 2,000+ exposed instances. F5 BIGIP and Citrix NetScaler vulnerabilities are also being exploited in the wild. FBI Director Kash Patel's personal Gmail account was breached by Iranian hackers who leaked photos and documents. Here's the full breakdown of today's top security stories. Daily Security Brief, 2026-0330. Next section, Critical Alerts. Fortinet 40 Client EMS SQL injection under active exploitation. CVE 2026-21643. Attackers are exploiting a critical SQL injection flaw in Fortinet's 40 Client EMS platform that allows unauthenticated remote code execution through malicious HTTP requests. CVE 2026-21643. CVSS, the Common Vulnerability Scoring System, likely 9+, affects 40 Client EMS version 7.4.4 and allows attackers to smuggle SQL statements through the site header in HTTP requests targeting the web interface. Diffused reports first exploitation occurred 4 days ago. Shadows of tracks over 2,040 client EMS instances exposed online, with more than 1,400 IPs in the United States and Europe. This vulnerability is not yet listed on CISA, the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, KEV, known exploited vulnerabilities catalog, despite active exploitation. Fortinet products are frequently exploited in ransomware attacks and cyber espionage campaigns, with CISA having flagged 24 Fortinet vulnerabilities as actively exploited, 13 of which were used in ransomware attacks. Action: upgrade 40 Client EMS to version 7.4.5 immediately. If patching is delayed, remove public internet exposure to the 40 Client EMS web interface. Audit logs for suspicious HTTP requests targeting the site header. This is a critical patch for any organization using 40 Client EMS due to the ease of exploitation and the attacker track record with Fortinet products. Sources: Bleeping Computer. F5 BIGIP flaw upgraded to critical remote code execution. Now exploited in wild, a F5 BIGIP vulnerability, initially disclosed as a high-severity denial-of-service issue, has been upgraded to a critical remote code execution flaw and is now being exploited in the wild. The vulnerability affects F5 BIGIP systems and was reclassified after further analysis revealed the full scope of the issue. No CVE, or common vulnerabilities and exposures, or specific version information was provided in the available reporting. Action: review F5 security advisories for BIGIP patches and apply immediately. Monitor BIGIP systems for signs of compromise. This is a priority patch for organizations running F5 load balancers and application delivery controllers. Sources: Security Week. Citrix NetScaler vulnerability under exploitation. A critical Citrix NetScaler vulnerability that leaks application memory is being exploited to obtain authenticated administrative session ID. The flaw allows attackers to hijack administrator sessions and gain full control over NetScaler appliances. Action: apply Citrix security updates for NetScaler immediately, rotate administrative credentials, and review session logs for unauthorized access. NetScaler appliances are high-value targets due to their position in network architectures. Sources: Security Week. Next section, Ransomware and Extortion. Shiny Hunters claims European Commission breach. The European Commission confirmed a data breach after its Europa EU web platform was hacked in an attack claimed by the Shiny Hunters extortion gang. The breach affects at least one of the Commission's AWS accounts, with the attacker claiming to have stolen over 350 gigabytes of data before access was blocked. Shiny Hunters released an archive of over 90 gigabytes of files allegedly stolen from the Commission's compromised cloud environment, claiming the data includes mail servers, databases, confidential documents, and contracts. Screenshots provided by the threat actor prove access to European Commission employee data. The Commission stated the attack did not disrupt Europa websites and that internal systems were not affected. Shiny Hunters has also recently claimed breaches at Infinite Campus, Car Gurus, Canada Goose, Panera Bread, Betterment, SoundCloud, Pornhub, and Match Group. Some victims were breached in a large-scale voice phishing campaign targeting SSO accounts at Okta, Microsoft, and Google across more than 100 high-profile organizations. Action: organizations using AWS should review IAM policies, enable MFA, multi-factor authentication on all accounts, audit CloudTrail logs for suspicious activity, and implement phishing awareness training. The European Commission breach follows a pattern of cloud account compromise through social engineering. Sources: Bleeping Computer. Jackson County Sheriff's Department hit by ransomware. A ransomware attack crippled the entire IT network of the Sheriff's Department in Jackson County, Indiana. The attack took down all PCs, the Wi-Fi network, and the police report filing system. The incident occurred last week and operations remain impacted. Sources: Risky Biz News. CareCloud EHR breach. Hackers breached EHR provider CareCloud in a security incident earlier this month, affecting one of the company's 6 electronic health record platforms. CareCloud reported to the SEC that an unauthorized third party temporarily accessed part of its CareCloud Health division on March 16, partially disrupting functionality and data access for approximately 8 hours. The company evicted the attacker 8 hours after the intruder gained access to the platform. All affected systems have been restored, and the company believes the threat actor no longer has access. CareCloud continues to assess whether patient information or other data was accessed or exfiltrated. The company determined the incident is material due to the sensitivity of potentially affected information and potential remediation costs, legal matters, and effects on patients and reputation. CareCloud believes the incident is not reasonably likely to have a material impact on financial condition or results of operations. Sources: Data breaches. Net. Next section: Business and infrastructure threats. Apple adds Click Fix warning to Mac OS terminal. Apple silently added a security feature to Mac OS 26 that warns users about possible Click Fix attacks. The feature shows a pop-up whenever a user tries to copy-paste commands from a browser into the terminal window. Click Fix is an attack technique where threat actors use websites with fake errors or broken CAPTCHA that instruct users to copy and paste code in command line terminals. The code typically contains encoded or masked commands that download and install malware. Attacks initially targeted Windows, but expanded with Mac OS and Linux variants in 2025. Click Fix became particularly popular against Mac OS towards the end of 2025. Security firm Huntress reported more than half of malware incidents tracked last year originated from a Click Fix-related delivery point. The pop-up does not block users from pasting commands, but raises awareness among less technical users. Action: update to Mac OS 26 to receive the Click Fix warning feature. Train users to never paste commands from websites into terminal windows. This is a social engineering defense, not a technical control, so awareness is critical. Sources: Risky Biz News. Iranian hackers breach FBI director's personal email, CVE not applicable. Iranian hackers associated with the Handala Group breached FBI Director Kash Patel's personal Gmail account and published photos and documents extracted from the inbox. The FBI confirmed the compromise, stating that the stolen data was not recent and did not include government information. The Handala hackers claimed they compromised Patel's personal email in response to FBI domain seizures and a $10 million reward offered by the U.S. government for information on the group's members. The threat actor published watermarked personal photos, documents, and email correspondence from before Patel became FBI director. Handala, also known as Handala Hack, Hadaf, and Hamsa, is a hacktivist persona carrying out cyber activities for Iran's Ministry of Intelligence and Security, MOAS. The group previously breached medical technology giant Stryker and wiped nearly 80,000 devices. Action: this incident demonstrates that personal accounts of high-profile individuals are soft targets. Organizations should require executives and sensitive personnel to use dedicated work accounts for all professional communication, enable advanced threat protection on personal accounts, and implement security awareness training on nation-state targeting. Personal Gmail accounts lack the logging and DLP controls of corporate email systems. Sources: Bleeping Computer Security Week. Tax-themed phishing campaigns deliver RMM, remote monitoring and management. Tools Proofpoint tracked over 100 tax-themed campaigns in 2026 delivering malware, remote monitoring and management, RMM, payloads, fraud, and credential phishing. Tax-themed campaigns this year show increased use of RMM payloads, activity from newly identified threat actors, and broader social engineering lures. Threat actors impersonate the IRS, tax agencies, government entities, company HR departments, and claim expired tax documents or tax violations. Most common payloads are legitimate RMMs including Datto, Enable, Remote PC, Zoho Assist, and Screen Connect. RMMs fly under the radar because they are legitimate, authoritatively signed software. In some cases, threat actors use one RMM for initial access and drop another as a follow-on payload. Campaign volumes vary from a handful of messages to tens of thousands. Most campaigns target the United States, with recent activity also targeting Canada, Australia, Switzerland, and Japan. Action: implement allow listing for trusted RMM tools to prevent malicious RMM installation. Block executable downloads from file sharing services like Bitbucket in email. train users on tax-themed phishing during tax season, monitor for unauthorized RMM installations via endpoint detection tools. Sources: Proofpoint Threat Insight. Breach Forums v5 hacked days after revival. The fifth incarnation of Breach Forums was hacked days into its revival. Shiny hunters leaked the registration data and private messages of more than 340,000 users. The group promised to hack and leak any new iteration of Breach Forums. This is the fourth Breach Forum version or clone to be leaked according to D3 Lab. Sources: Risky Biz News. Next section, Windows/Active Directory Security. Microsoft pulls KB 5,079,391. Windows update over install issues. Microsoft pulled Windows 11 non-security preview update, KB 5,079,391, to investigate a known issue triggering 0x80,073,712 errors during installation. The optional cumulative update started rolling out Thursday to Windows 11 24H2 and 25H2 systems with 29 changes including Smart App Control and display improvements. Affected devices see errors stating some update files are missing or have problems. We'll try to download the update again later. Error code 0x80,073,712. Microsoft stopped the KB 5,079,391 rollout, but has not shared a timeline for when a fix will be available. This will likely happen before April 14, Patch Tuesday cumulative updates, to allow customers to test new features and fixes. 1 week ago, Microsoft released an emergency update to address an issue triggered by March 2026 Windows updates that broke sign-ins with Microsoft accounts across Teams, Edge, Microsoft 365 Copilot, and OneDrive. Action: do not install KB 5,079,391 if available in Windows Update. Microsoft has paused rollout, but some systems may still see the update. Wait for the fixed version before April 14. Organizations using Windows 11 24H2 or 25H2 should note this issue for patch testing. Sources: Bleeping Computer. Next section, General Security News. White House mobile app contains multiple critical security flaws. Security researcher Theralo decompiled the official White House mobile app, launched March 28, 2026, and found multiple critical security and privacy violations. Findings include GPS tracking every 4.5 minutes, JavaScript injection into every website visited through the app, loading code from random GitHub pages, additional third-party code execution, and data sharing with non-government entities. The issues violate basic cybersecurity principles and federal government security standards. The app collects location data continuously, can inject arbitrary code into web pages, and loads unverified code from external sources. Action: do not install or use the White House mobile app until these security issues are addressed. Federal agencies and contractors should review internal app deployment policies to prevent similar issues. This app demonstrates failures at every layer of secure development. Sources: data breaches, net. FCC foreign router ban criticized as industrial policy. Milton Mueller, professor at the University of Georgia's School of Public Policy, criticized the United States ban on foreign-made SOHO routers as industrial policy disguised as cybersecurity. The FCC justified the ban with references to CIS and FBI analysis of Volt Typhoon and Salt Typhoon attacks targeting SOHO routers, and Department of Commerce findings that 85% of consumer router supply chains in China create systemic vulnerability. Mueller argues the ban ignores that routers use globally developed software components regardless of assembly location. The Typhoon gangs exploited unpatched bugs, unchanged default credentials, and bad design, not backdoors. The ban focuses on new equipment authorizations while leaving vulnerable legacy devices in place. By banning newest Wi-Fi 7 and Wi-Fi 8 routers from foreign manufacturers, the FCC forces consumers to pay more for upgraded equipment or keep older, more vulnerable devices longer, increasing the total attack surface. Sources: The Register. AI-assisted malware development reaches operational maturity. Checkpoint Research reports AI-assisted malware development has reached operational maturity. Void Link Framework, a modular and professionally engineered Linux malware, was built by a single developer using a commercial AI-powered IDE within a compressed timeframe. The framework features eBPF and LKM rootkits, cloud and container enumeration, and more than 30 post-exploitation plugins. Void Link was initially assessed as the work of a coordinated team based on architecture and implementation quality. The development method was exposed through an operational security failure, not from analyzing the malware itself. Checkpoint notes that actors of varying skill levels are investing in self-hosted and open-source AI models to avoid commercial platform restrictions. But underground discussions reveal local models still underperform and commercial models remain the productive choice. Jailbreaking is shifting from direct prompt engineering toward agentic architecture abuse, specifically misuse of AI agent configuration mechanisms and project files that redefine agent behavior. Action: threat intelligence teams should consider AI-assisted development as a possibility from the outset when analyzing sophisticated malware, not as an afterthought. The gap between low-skill and high-skill actors may narrow as AI development tools become more accessible. Sources: Checkpoint Research. China-linked clusters target Southeast Asian government. 3 threat activity clusters aligned with China targeted a government organization in Southeast Asia in a complex and well-resourced operation deploying multiple malware families including Hiupan, Pubload, Eggstream Fuel, Masol Rat, Posh Rat, Trackback Stealer, and Fluffy GH0st. The campaigns have been attributed to Mustang Panda, June-August 2025. CLSDA 1048 overlapping with Earth Estuaries and Crimson Palace, March-September 2025, and CLSDA 1049 overlapping with Unfading Sea Haze, April and August 2025. Significant overlap in TTPs, tactics, techniques, and procedures suggests the clusters have a common target of interest and are potentially coordinating efforts. The attacker's methodology indicates intent to gain long-term, persistent access to sensitive government networks, not just to cause disruption. Sources: The Hacker News. Next section: Patch Priority. 40 client EMS 7.4.5 critical SQL injection actively exploited. F5 Big IP critical RCE actively exploited. Check F5 advisories for specifics. Citrix Net Scalar critical session hijacking actively exploited. Mac OS 26 4-click fix warning feature security enhancement. Smart Slider 3 WordPress plugin 3.5.1.34 medium severity file read flaw. Next section: Vulnerability disclosures. Smart Slider 3 WordPress plugin file read vulnerability. CVE 2026-3098. A vulnerability in the Smart Slider 3 WordPress plugin allows subscriber-level authenticated users to read arbitrary files on the server. CVE 2026-3098, EPSS. The exploit prediction scoring system, 0.0, 7th percentile, received a medium severity score due to requiring authentication, but affects websites with membership or subscription features. The plugin is active on more than 800,000 websites. The vulnerability stems from missing capability checks in the plugin's AJAX export actions, allowing any authenticated user to invoke them. The action export all function lacks file type and source validation, allowing arbitrary server files including wp-config, PHP to be read and added to export archives. An attacker could access database credentials, keys, and salts for cryptographic security. NextEndWeb patched the issue on March 24 with Smart Slider version 3.5.1.34. According to WordPress org stats, the plugin was downloaded 303,428 times over the past week, meaning at least 500,000 WordPress sites are running a vulnerable version. Action: update Smart Slider 3 plugin to version 3.5.1.34 immediately. If the plugin is not actively used, remove it. Review WordPress user roles and remove subscriber-level access if not required. Audit web server logs for suspicious export requests. Change database credentials and WordPress salts if you suspect compromise. Sources: Bleeping Computer. Next section: Trends and Context. Active exploitation dominates today's threat landscape, with Fortinet, F5, and Citrix vulnerabilities all being targeted in the wild. European Commission breach and FBI director email compromise demonstrate that cloud accounts and personal email remain soft targets even for high-profile organizations. Tax season phishing continues to leverage legitimate RMM tools to evade detection, requiring allow listing controls rather than signature-based detection. That concludes today's cyber threat brief. From Carolina Clear Tech. Stay patched, stay vigilant.